Good day, everyone. I'm going to discuss about I/O systems or input-output systems. Input-output systems. So, what is an input-output system? It is the gateways between the users and processor, and there are thousands of I/O devices like the mouse, keyboard, etc. So, what do we choose from these, and how do we standardize these devices? This what operating system comes in hand. The OS handles the I/O devices in an efficient manner and makes it reliable. Contents. We're going to discuss the overview of the I/O systems, the I/O hardware, application I/O interface, kernel I/O subsystems, transforming I/O requests to hardware operations, streams, and its performance. Let's go for the objectives of this lesson to explore the structure of an operating system's I/O subsystem, to discuss the principles and complexities of I/O hardware, and to explain the performance aspects of I/O hardware and software. Overview. In the operating system design and operations, the I/O management plays a crucial role because of the complexity and other factors, considering the following important aspect of computer operation. The I/O devices may vary greatly, have various methods to control them, performance management, and the new types of devices. Then, the I/O devices are connected with ports, buses, device controllers, which connects to various devices, and device drivers encapsulate device details, present uniform device to access interface to I/O subsystem. I/O hardware. I/O hardware can categorize as storage, transmission, and user interface, and other. The I/O devices communicate with the processor via wire or through air. The common connections of I/O devices with the processor are the port, which is the connecting point of devices, which can be serial or parallel. The other type of connection is the bus. A bus is a common set of wire connecting multiple devices. These bus structure are classified into the following: PCI bus, which is mainly used for high-speed devices. We have daisy chain bus. This is defined as string of devices connected to each other, and only one is connected to the host. And expansion bus, which is connected to low bandwidth devices. Controllers is a device that interfaces between I/O devices and the computer. And this interface can be a port, a bus, etc. One way of communicating with the devices is through registers. Devices usually have registers where device driver places commands, addresses, and data to write or read data from registers after command execution. The different types of registers, such as data in registers, data out registers, status registers, and control registers. Another way to communicate with the device is the memory map or the memory map IO. It is used when large data needs to be moved quickly, like the graphics card. The disadvantage of memory map input output system is the problem exists if allowed to give direct write permission to the process and address. Memory map input output. As you can see on the figure, it uses sections of memory in the IO. The idea is simple. Instead of having real memory, which is the RAM and the address, we use an input output device. The IO device uses the same protocol to communicate with the CPU as the memory does. How is the memory map IO done? It can be done in two ways. First is the single bus. In this structure, all the memory access is done through a single bus. And here, the IO and RAM compete for the bandwidth as there is only a single bus. And to fix the bandwidth, we can use the dual bus. So there is a bus connected right between the CPU and the memory, along with the single bus below. Here, the RAM access the high-speed bus and the IO accesses the lower speed bus. And by the structure, there will be less competition. Bus structures. So here, we are looking on a typical PC bus structure. This illustration or this illustrates the three of the four buses commonly found in a modern PC. First one is the PCI bus, connects high-speed, high bandwidth devices to the memory subsystems. And the CPU, the second one is the expansion bus, which connects slower bandwidth devices, typically deliver data one character at a time. The third one is the SCSI bus, which connects a number of SCSI devices to a common SCSI controllers. Last one is the daisy chain bus, which is not shown in this figure. It is when a string of devices connected to each other like beads on a chain, and only one of the devices is directly connected to the host. Next is polling. Polling is a process where the controlling device waits for an external device. To check for its ready state in one word, polling is the handshake between the CPU and the IO devices. Here, the host repeatedly checks the busy bit on the device until it's cleared. Once cleared, the host sets read or write bit and allows controller by setting command ready bit. Then the control sets busy bit and execute transfer. Once the transfer is done, the controller clears all the bits. Interrupts. An interrupt is a signal to the processor emitted by input output, notifying that it needs immediate attention. It allows it also allows devices to notify the CPU when they have data to transfer or then the operation is complete. When the device controller raises an interrupt, then the device driver initiates the IO